Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. I did promise you guys a takedown video of the Wingman MDD-K, and so that's what we're going to do in this video. As you can see, I do have a towel down on my table here, and that is because we have some loose ceramic bearings in this knife. So this is a knife that I probably wouldn't recommend most of you guys take apart and clean, just because it's really easy to lose the ceramic balls. And since this does have a stainless steel lock insert, basically compressed air, a CLP type of cleaner, water, soap, whatever, it's more than adequate to clean this thing out without ever having to take it apart. But again, it's only if you have a stainless steel lock insert is that possible. So anyway, so we're going to take this thing down. I'm going to show you guys how the mechanism functions, and we'll just take a look at it from the inside. I won't be reassembling it on camera because, again, it's just the process in reverse. I don't want to make the video too long, and I do want to limit the amount of swearing that I do. So yeah, that's pretty much that. All right, I have my T8 Torx driver. This is actually a custom driver that I was gifted at a show from a very nice gentleman, so that's what I'm using to take this one down today. We just have two bodies. Well, we've got the pivot screw and then one body screw in the rear, and that's what keeps this knife held together. So we'll get into it without further ado here. A little bit of blue Loctite on this one, and here on the back. And I'm gonna, obviously I'm not looking through the viewfinder, so I'm gonna try to keep this thing in frame as best I can. Alright, there's the rear screw. Okay, so now we're going to carefully take this thing apart. And here we are on the inside. So you can see we've got some of those loose balls. Here is how, so the back spacer, it stays in place with the rear body screw, which goes through the rear hole there, and it just kind of keeps it locked in like so. And then this is the lanyard pin, if you wanted to tie a lanyard. So the pivot is not captured, so the pivot is free spinning, and we'll just leave those there. They're not going anywhere. Alright, so here's what we do want to see. Let's get some of these off. There we go. Alright, so here's what the milling looks like on the inside. We've got two pockets or blade stops, and actually I should probably put the pivot back in. And I did take this thing apart and reassemble it earlier, so that's why that grease is in there with the balls. That was me. Alright, so this is what most of you guys are interested in. This is how this thing functions. So I'm going to move the lock bar out of the way. You guys can see how this works here. It spins around, catches, and voila. There we are in the open position. So we push that down. Ooh, detemp all locked. It pushes it, spins around. I'm doing a terrible job of trying to look through the viewfinder to show you guys, but that's how this thing works. So here's the secondary piece, and this piece, I'm losing everything here. Essentially, we've got a pocket here in the titanium. There is another stop pin, we'll call it, right here that travels on the mechanism, and it's got some washers that obviously keep running smooth here. So that is the mechanism of the kickstop. That's how it functions. Very cool little system here with just a secondary piece essentially. So that's the kickstop system. Let's look at some of the milling there. We've got a detent ramp right here. You guys can see the detent ramp and the detent track. And we've got the loose balls, and that's just some Chris Reeve fluorinated grease in there. If you do have loose balls, to reassemble, you really do have to use grease to keep the balls in place. A standard lubricant like your nano oil or whatnot, the balls will just fall out and run all over the place, so the grease certainly helps to keep them in place there. So anyways, that's what this thing looks like. Internally, milling's nice and clean. This is the screw that holds the pocket clip in place. And anyways, hopefully that shows you guys kind of how the kickstop mechanism works. Get the little pockets with this thing with the stop pin that rides in place there and interacts with it. And then this thing also functions as the blade stop when it hits the front of the pocket here. So when this thing slides all the way forward and it hits the front of the pocket, that functions as the blade stop in, well, actually the opened and the closed position. So blade stop and flipper tab. So anyways, that's how it works. Hopefully that was helpful. Let me get some crap back in frame here. As far as showing you guys how it works, again, this is just a look at it, so you don't necessarily have to assemble your knife if you're curious as to how it functions and so forth. But anyways, comments or questions, let me know. When you put the damn thing back together, it should function flawlessly as seen with this one, which I have not screwed with. So we'll see how easily it goes back together and if I can have it running perfectly as it should. So anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching, and more videos to come.